Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another instalment of the Now Review. And would you believe it, it's that time of the year once again. The third and final numbered instalment of 2022 is here, continuing the long line of Now albums that all started back in 1983. So join me as we take a look at Now That's What I Call Music 113. So, if you're not familiar, these are the mainline Now releases. They come in jewel cases, they contain 2 discs full of the biggest and best chart hits of the last 3 months, so we're going to examine what's on this now. So let's just have a look at this front cover. So the Now logo itself is primarily in silver, standing out there. It's got a red trim around it, red and gold actually. The red and gold, looks nice. I don't know if the silver/white greyish main colour, I'm not too big of a fan of that. I always like it when the main numbered Nows are a bit more colourful in their text, but alas. The background, however, is really lovely. It's sort of against almost like a bonfire night skyline, I imagine, is when this was envisioned as, obviously all the fireworks in the sky. You've got all these old school looking buildings, almost looks like Victorian London, like there's a clock tower on the right there. On the left is another skyscraper with a very familiar shaped weather vane thing there. If you don't know, the pig used to be an old logo for Now back in the day, but hey, the pig still gets a mention. Nice that it still pops up here and there. So yeah, really like the background, not so much convinced on the main text there, but at the bottom you can see there are a selection of the artists that will feature here on this album, including Lewis Capaldi, Sam Smith and Kim Petras, One Republic, Elton John and Britney Spears, Ed Sheeran, George Ezra, and many, many, many more. So yes, a lot of the big names you would expect in 2022 if you look at the charts. So let's flip this on over and take a look, as we always do, at the all-important track list. So, it promises it's the best of the best. Let's find out. We're kicking off with Lewis Capaldi, who made his comeback this year with the song Forget Me, which is really nice actually, and of course stormed to number 1, no surprise there. We have Sam Smith and Kim Petras with Unholy, which I've got to admit, when I first heard it, I wasn't really a big fan of it, but the more I've listened to it, it's really grown on me. The beat's good, the production's good, both artists are on form, so yeah, good job. One Republic here with I Ain't Worried. I've never been a big One Republic fan, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ryan Tedder, the guy who fronts it, is a great songwriter, but the songs One Republic do just never landed with me, personally. But hey, they've gone on for a long time, haven't they? Stormzy's here with Hide and Seek, which I think is the new single from his upcoming album, and I really enjoy Stormzy's work. His last album, Heavy in the Head in particular, is so good. Highly recommend that. Ed Sheeran with Celestial. Love the song. Now, wasn't this released as part of like a Pokemon promotion? I just remember seeing the single artwork, and he's there with a Pikachu or something, but yeah, another banger from Ed. George Ezra with Dance All Over Me. David Guetta and Bebe Rexha with I'm Good or Blue in brackets. David Guetta, man, still pumping out hits. He's been going for like what feels like forever, 15 years maybe. Eliza Rose and Interplanetary Criminal with Bota or Baddest of Them All, which I think that topped the charts, didn't it, for quite a while. Again, sort of unsure on that one. Not sure whether I like it or not, if I'm honest. We've got Tiesto and Charlie XCX with Hot in It. I actually really like that one. Nice bit club banger there. Lizzo with To Be Loved, Am I Ready? Lil Nas X with Star Walking, which is from League of Legends World's Anthem. Really like Lil Nas X as an artist and his artistry. His debut album was solid. Not really familiar with this one though, and not a massive League fan, gotta be honest. Mimi Webb with Ghost of You. Steve Lacy with Bad Habit. KSI feat Tom Grennan with Not Over Yet, released in time, of course, for his big boxing comeback and all that. So the remix is good too, but the original's nice to have here. Burna Boy with Last Last. Fireboy, DML, and Ed Sheeran. Ed's second appearance, keep an eye on that, with Peru. Ed appears again, this time with H and My G. Sam Ryder with Somebody, the follow-up to Spaceman. I'm not overly big on the single. It's good, Sam Ryder's ace, but yeah, I preferred Spaceman and a lot of his other stuff. Pink with Irrelevant, and we have Billie Eilish with TV. The 1975 with I'm in Love with You. The new album's pretty good, by the way, more standard 1975 fare. The Killers are here with Boy, and we finish off with Panic at the Disco and Don't Let the Light Go Out. So 23 tracks on CD1. CD2 kicks off with 2 pop giants, being Elton John and Britney Spears with Hold Me Closer, good tune that. Calvin Harris, Justin Timberlake, Halsey and Pharrell Williams talk about a lineup with Stay With Me. This one I feel is going to grow on me. Wasn't too sure at first, but I'm growing on it. Joel Corry and Becky Hill are here with History. You've got Lude and Matafix with Big City Life. James Hype and Miggy De La Rosa with Ferrari. Again, I didn't like that listening to it on its own, but in the club, Ferrari's a big banger. You have LF System with their follow-up single of Afraid to Feel with Hungry for Love. I think Afraid to Feel's better. Anne-Marie and H again there with Psycho. Rosalind with Snap, who was the Armenian entry for Eurovision this year. Didn't do well in the contest, but boy, that song has gone big, especially on TikTok, I think. Cat Burns with People Pleaser. LFO or Flo with Cardboard Box. Ollie Murs and Die of a Broken Eye. He's still going, man. 13 years strong. Tom Grennan on his own this time with All These Nights, although his collaborator KSI's here with Summer Is Over, which really surprised me. One of my favourite KSI tracks, actually. Really solid tune there. You have Burna Boy v Ed Sheeran again. 4th appearance for Ed Sheeran. Has that got to be a record for most appearances on one singular now album? But he's here with For My Hand. We have Oxlade with Kula Sa, A Colours Show. Sounds interesting. Post Malone and Doja Cat with I Like You. Not Post's best work, I think. Brucey, No Excuses. Glad that's here. Surprised that wasn't on Now 112, but I think this is like a hidden banger. Big fan of that. We have Benz with Je M'appelle. Sigala and David Guetta and Sam Ryder with Living Without You. Again, good showcase of Sam's voice there. Netsky or Netsky feat Rita Ora with Barricades. Dermot Kennedy with Kiss Me. He keeps pumping out hits, doesn't he? Kian Duckrot and Ella Henderson with All For You. Tom Adele with Another Love, which I'm assuming is his hit from like 10 years ago. Let me guess, has that resurfaced via TikTok or is it a re-recording? I'll have to find out. Robbie Williams with Lost XXV or 25. Really like that song. Good showcase of Robbie's voice. And we finish, interestingly enough, with Queen. Yes, that's right, the Queen with a track called Face It Alone. This was recorded back in 1988 for their album The Miracle, which came out the following year. The demo, I think, was recently found, touched up, and it's here on the Now album. And it's, again, really great track. Freddie's vocals are on point. So a great way to finish. 25 tracks there. So we have 48 tracks total across these 2 discs. We'll talk more about the tracklist in a moment, but let's open this up. As mentioned, being this is a numbered now, this is presented in the standard jewel case. So there you have CD1 front and center there. And if you flip it on over, you can see CD2. And as always, on the back, you get a nice little image of the front cover without the Now text. And again, just look at that landscape, man. Really, really gorgeous artwork. Probably one of my favorite background artworks of the year, to be honest with you. And of course, on the back of the booklet, you'll have adverts and the like. And just, I mean, I'll quickly skim through this, but sadly, the Now number booklets, they used to be full of, like, you know, information on the artists and how these singles charted, how well they did. But now it's just production information. I get we're trying to cut costs, but it seems the only way you can get this information now is through the Now yearbooks, the special edition yearbooks, which actually give you it. So that is the rough package of Now 113. So what do I think of the track list? Well, again, it's always sticking true to Now form. I mean, 2 number ones in a row. Forget Me by Lewis Capaldi was massive, as was Unholy with Sam Smith and Ken Petras as well. So massive, big stalwarts there. You've got David Guetta and Baby Rexha's song. That was another one there. But again, as the Nows always do, it's mostly pop, you know, the main pop charts. But towards the end of disc 1, you do get a bit of a, as it says on the website, alternative mix from people like Panic at the Disco, the 1975, The Killers and stuff like that. You've got some dance, like with, Baddest of Them All and things like that. Steve Lacy apparently is a TikTok sensation. I'm not on TikTok, so I wouldn't know. So yeah, honestly, I think actually out of this year, this is a really diverse selection from the charts, because you've got new artists, old artists like Elton John on here, artists like Robbie Williams who are still pumping out hits as well. Queen is a really nice addition. I just, for whatever reason, I thought they'd keep that exclusive to the Miracle re-release that's happening, which is getting a lavish set, but its inclusion on here is great. It'll mean it gets out to a whole new audience, which I think is good, and, you know, Queen's in no shortage of fans there. So out of the 3 numbered Nows we've had this year, so this one as well as 111 and 112, honestly, 111 may have had 50 tracks, but I think 113 offers the best in terms of the tracks I like the most, but also just in terms of the variety. I like these albums to have a good variety, not just to all sound like the same thing. So the track list gets a big thumbs up from me. In terms of where you can get this, if you're interested, obviously you can get it from places like HMV, where it retails for between £11 and £13, depending on where you are. You can also get it online from Now's website, if you like, or you can get it from Amazon or your independent music retailer, if you have one, if they stock these Now CDs. This is going to be pretty accessible for a while. Most of the numbered ones are. The recent numbered ones are, I should say. Just to make you aware as well, if you're into classic Now, Now 13 gets a re-release as well. And we'll probably cover those on the Now review at some point. But if you like your old Nows, you can pick up Now 13, which has a lot of great hits from late 1988. So is this for you? As always, if you keep up to date with the charts, if you like what you see here, if you've liked what you've heard on the radio or on Spotify or even on TikTok over the last 3 months, then Now 113 is an absolute must purchase for you. However, if chart stuff isn't your thing, I doubt you're still here at the end of this video, but if you are and you're not a fan of the chart stuff, absolutely maybe pass on this, stick to the spin-off collections that focus on decades gone by. But that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like on this video and let me know in the comments, are you going to be picking up Now 113, or is it one you think you're going to pass on this time around? Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new as well. We would love to have you aboard here with us. I've been Adam Martin from AMTV. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, Tobos Krotz, Polsky Liz, Globe of Reviews, and Trev Hughes, our AMTV staff members.